the UPS plane goes off into the distance, and Cassidy goes running after Jake, who's going to be feeding the chickens. Oh no, he's not. He's climbing. He should be feeding the chickens. Oh, that's how he gets over. Gotcha. Creative kid. All right. It's a little bit warmer today, it feels like, and there's not as much of a breeze. So I think it's a perfect time to go back into the hoop house and finish up that bed. I was able to get, looks about 2/3 of the way through this morning before I needed to get going. Also this morning I got this line fixed finally. So now it ends right here on the planter and doesn't extend out there. I tested it for just a couple of minutes and it worked out here much better. So I think, what's today, Tuesday? I think I switched it to Wednesdays. I may end up turning it on tonight just because to see if we can get some of this greened up. It's really worked out well over there. The new sprinkler is working well. Fixing that area over there, it's starting to turn green already, and this is actually getting a little bit greener now too, I see. So I'm hoping that will make that even better. This morning I was able to get the azomite on here into this bed, and what I ended up doing was basing it on roughly 2 pounds per every 10 feet. And so this is roughly a 70 foot bed, and so I just did just short of 14 pounds. It was 6 quarts of the green bucket that I have for it. Oh, I thought I still had the bucket here. Oh, there it is. And so I just filled that up. So we can fill that up now to 6 quarts on these beds, and we'll be just fine. I thought at first it was going to be way too much. I was using that 1 cup and just kind of spraying it out there, just kind of throwing it in there. But I ended up using the whole thing, and I think it'll be fine. Azomite has a really wide range between a ½ pound and 2 pounds per 10 square feet. So I just figured that this stuff is so much clay that I don't think it's going to hurt putting that kind of minerals that much in there. And it was funny because the girls were finishing up taking this bed out, and they were just having a terrible time of it. So I actually did end up using the, Deb was going to use that broad fork, and I said, hey, let me try it with the big one, see if I can pop them out. And I did, and it really helped them, but I also realized how really bad this area right in here is going to be, because this is modeling clay. In fact, it was the way that the blades were going in there and how wet it was in there. It was molding, and it looked like you were cutting it just like you would cut a big block of modeling clay. You would cut that. That's exactly what it looked like inside of those blades right there. So this is just really bad up in this first quarter of this, and probably like, so this area right here is the worst, and then it gets just a touch better right here, but then it'll gradually get better as you start going back. And so about halfway through-ish or so, it gets a lot better. So like roughly right in here, it starts getting a little bit better, and then it'll get continuously better from probably about here on, because this is where we had the original beds way back when, and where we originally put all of the compost that we had gotten, and of the pictures that we got the kids shoveling and all that kind of stuff. So that was like right in this area here. All the rock and stone and everything has been turned up when Michael and I pulled from over there, just trying to get this leveled out. And by doing that, we really brought a lot of the bad stuff that was over there down to here, just to try to get it leveled out. And in looking back, what we should have done was just pull up this area up front and probably just like dumped it in between here or something like that, and not bring it down into this area here. And in reality, that does need to be dropped probably another 2 or 3 feet, but that's just not going to happen. I don't think. And I don't think that I'm going to lift I had a thought about lifting the hoop house with the the jacks that we have, because I have the house lifting jacks and stuff like that, but it's not necessary. I just have to be careful about that first beam hitting my head on it, and it's just going to get higher the more compost we put in here. But the good thing about compost is it's always decomposing, and so it'll get lower too. And the better compost and more that we get up here, the more we can start to bring down to here also, and it'll be nicer and nicer and nicer and nicer. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to try to get this bed finished, popping it, and then probably move to the next one. It took me a while of making measurements to get the 10 beds in here. It wasn't lining up right, and I finally figured it out. And I'm pretty sure that I have the 10 beds again. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, so there is the 10 beds are back in here. So we got that fixed, and I've got the marks. I am contemplating on putting these marks in permanently back here. I found those yellow, I don't know if you can see them down there, the yellow stakes that I had gotten from Home Depot years ago when they were having the closeout on them. And I found those in the garden veggie shed today, and we've got just a ton of them. And so I'm thinking that maybe what I'll end up doing is running those either farther out, like all the way to the ends of the hoop houses, so then none of the equipment will get in the way of it, but we can still use it for guide and for ropes, for string, so that we can make the new beds when they need to get made, and anybody can do it. I know we've tried a bunch of different iterations of it, and some have worked better than others, but none has really worked, or we would be doing it. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. So that is kind of the plan for this afternoon, and it'll be interesting to see. Like I say, I think it's hotter today than it was yesterday. It was 103 yesterday. I think it's much warmer today, and there is nowhere near, as you can see, it's almost dead up there in the trees. There's nowhere near as hot or as breezy as it was yesterday. The breeze was really nice. So I may track down the box fan and see if I can get it in here and just maybe blowing on me while I'm working, and see if that helps.